Welcome back to another episode of the Switch Survival Guide. Have you ever wished there was just a potion on Ark that could heal your health? Well, actually there is, just not a lot of people know about it. Take a look at my health bar here, and you can see I am using a medical brew to heal 40 health in just a couple of seconds. Today we are going to teach you how to make medical brew and energy brew, and also how to build a cooking pot and how to use that to cook advanced cooking recipes like this medical and energy brew. So be sure to watch the rest of this episode. It will be very helpful. So before we actually start cooking, we need a cooking pot, and that is a very low level engram. I mean, like level 8. So once you're level 8, you can make a cooking pot, and once you can make narcotics, you can actually start making medical brews. But I've been so busy teaching you some more advanced techniques that I never really got around to making a cooking pot. We also haven't really been taking much damage, but these medical brews will be very helpful in any kind of combat situations you get yourself into. I just like to avoid fighting until I'm really well decked out to just destroy everything. Never start a fight you can't win, that's my policy. So I'm going to go ahead and place this cooking pot right next to the feeding trough, and that'll be a great spot where it's out of the way, it's not really blocking anything, but from here I can actually grab any of the berries that I want to use for cooking right out of the cooking trough. That's kind of where I'm going to keep those most of the time. So just like a cooking fire, you need to add wood before you can cook anything. And just like a cooking fire, you can just light the fire by pressing X, and that'll start cooking stuff. But unlike a cooking fire, you actually can place water in the cooking pot, and that's what really makes it different. You can make all kinds of advanced recipes using a cooking pot, and we'll teach you a lot of different recipes later on. And we're even going to teach you how to make up your own foods and create custom recipes with custom pictures and colors and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm looking forward to teaching you about that later. But for now, I'm just going to come out here and fill up my water jars. And I've got a couple water skins. As long as you have 25% water in the water container, you can cook with it. So water skins, water jars, and canteens all work just as well as long as the one that you're using has at least 25% water. So I'm going to drop some water in there. And the other ingredients that we need for making medical brew are 20 amar berries, which are these red ones, and 2 narcotics for each medical brew. So they're actually not really expensive to make. And if you've got a good stegosaur or triceratops, you can get the berries for this no problem, and you can make tons of medical brews. Now, one thing to keep in mind is they only last for about 2 hours before they spoil, so, it doesn't help to make ridiculous amounts of them. But I've got all the ingredients in the cooking pot now, and I've dragged them all into the inventory, and then I hit the light fire icon or hit the X button in order to get this started. Now you have to wait about a minute. If nothing happens, that's normal. It takes a while, but after a few minutes, the medical brew pops up. You're also going to have some charcoal pop up, which I want to immediately stop the fire if that happens, because I could accidentally end up making some dyes if that goes on too long. So here we go. If you look at the stats on this medical brew, it gives you 40 health, but it does have a 2-hour spoil time, so you do have to watch out for that. But it's very light. You can carry a whole bunch of them without burdening your dinosaurs. And there we go. We got our second medical brew here. So I think I'm going to stop here. And once again, be really careful, because after you brew a medical brew, the charcoal is going to pop up there. And if there's still some water left, you might actually accidentally make some dyes if the charcoal is present. So be careful to grab the charcoal out as quickly as you can when you're making medical brew. And let me give you a quick demonstration of what happens when I take some damage. So bonsai! Yeah, I took like nothing. Let me try that again. I'm not very good at hurting myself. So looks like I'm going to have to jump from a little bit higher. So let me see if I can climb one of these taller spires on my base, and then we'll just jump off from there, which should give us some decent damage. So let's see how that goes. Okay, yeah, take a look at my health bar on the bottom right. So that took out a third of my health, but after using the medical brew, we are already back to full. And that can be extremely helpful if you're in combat with dinosaurs. So, in this episode, we are also going to teach you how to make energy brew, which is basically medical brew recovers 40 health and energy brew recovers 40 stamina. Now, we're going to have to learn the stimulant engram because we skipped right over that one, just like a lot of other things. So, in order to make that, we need spark powder and stim berries. So, I'm just going to go ahead and craft some spark powder in our mortar and pestle. And I had a good episode on how to use the mortar and pestle to make things like spark powder, gunpowder, all that stuff. But we're just going to get some of that. Looks like we've got enough spark powder for now. And then I'll go into the drugs folder, and I'm just going to hit the X button over the stimulants, and that's just going to craft all of the stimulants that we have the materials for. And I'm also going to drop the rest of my narco berries in, and we'll just craft the rest of the narcotics that we can, because we always need more of those for taming. So there we go. We've got the stimulants we need, and I've already pulled out the blue azul berries that we're also going to use. So the ingredients for energy brew are water, azul berries, and stimulants. And so we're going to drop that all in there and light the fire, and that's just going to start cooking, and we'll speed this up a little bit so you don't have to wait the full amount of time. Once again, if nothing happens, wait a good solid minute or two, because it does take a while and it doesn't look like anything's happening. So there we go. We got our first medical brew, and our first charcoal popped up, so I'm going to pull that out, make sure we don't make any other dyes, and I'm going to drop the medical brew into our hot bar because we'll demonstrate that in just a second. So there we go. We got our second medical brew, and that is done. So I'm going to put out the fire and pull my water jars back. I always leave my water jars in there. I just forget when I'm done cooking. So we're going to demonstrate this real quick, and I'm just going to run as fast as I can all over the place and see if I can wear myself out. Now, another thing to keep in mind with the energy brew is it actually spoils in just 1 hour. So don't make a ton of those things because they do run out pretty quickly. But let's say I'm, worn out from chopping down trees and a dinosaur starts attacking me and I've got no more energy. If you look on the bottom right, my energy is just about gone. So I am completely out of energy. But after using that energy brew real quick, I can go right back to sprinting for a very long distance, and having a few of those might be just enough to sprint far enough away to get away from a dinosaur. So that's another one of those things that gives you just a little bit of an edge that could save your life. Now, I also just had to test this on my pteranodon, and using a barrel roll, which is clicking on the bottom right stick, you can use your energy really fast. I'm almost out of stamina, but unfortunately you cannot feed a energy brew to your pteranodon. It makes sense. You can't reach his head. Sorry. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps us out a lot when you subscribe, and we will continue bringing you great guides like this one. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. Ark is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on Ark.